Hello, you're kicking off the Thursday's edition of QPVN English News Bulletin with Milichi and income deadlines. Vietnam and Hungary expand cooperation into new areas. Ministry of National Defense reveals conferring and posthumous conferring of honorary titles. Hoàng quốc Việt, a revolutionary life for country and people. As invitation of President Lương Cường, Hungarian President Reup and his spouse, along with a high-ranking Hungarian delegation, paid an official visit to Vietnam from May the 27th to the 29th. On May the 28th, the official welcoming ceremony for President Reup was held at the Presidential Palace, chaired by President Lương Cường. After the welcoming ceremony, the two leaders and high-ranking delegations of the two countries held talks. The visit of Hungarian President Reup and his spouse took place as the two countries are celebrating the 75th anniversary of diplomatic ties. As one of the first 10 countries in the world to recognize and establish diplomatic relations with Vietnam, Hungary has always supported Vietnam in the cause of national liberation, gaining independence and unity for the country. Today, Hungary is Vietnam's first comprehensive partner in the Central and Eastern Europe. The two countries always respect each other's role and wish to strengthen cooperation in all fields. President Lương Cường and President Reup agreed that the two countries need to continue to enhance contacts and exchanges of delegations at all levels, further bolster the role of the Joint Committee on Economic Cooperation, effectively implement the EU-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement. The two leaders agreed to ramp up investment cooperation in Hungary's strength. In addition, the two countries need to boost cooperation in such traditional fields as defense security, science technology, education training, agriculture, while expanding cooperation in digital transformation, information technology, environment, water resource management. Discussing regional and international issues of mutual concern, the Hungarian president assessed that the two countries share many similarities in foreign policy and national history, as they both cherish peace and justice. The two leaders agree that disputes and conflicts worldwide should be resolved by peaceful means based on the fundamental principles of the United Nations Charter and international law, especially the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, contributing to maintaining peace, stability, security, and freedom of navigation and of flight in regions and globally for cooperation and common prosperity. During his official visit to Malaysia and attendance at the ASEAN Summit and related summits in Kuala Lumpur on May the 20th, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính visited and delivered a speech at the National University of Malaysia. Established in 1970, the National University of Malaysia is the leading academic institution in Malaysia and Asia. Currently, it has nearly 3,000 international students, among a total number of over 25,000. It is a place that provides training for many leaders, experts, scientists from Malaysia, and is one of Malaysia's symbols of liberal knowledge, diverse integration, connected community. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính said that over the past few years of establishing diplomatic relations, the cooperation between the two countries has grown stronger, especially with the milestone of officially upgrading the relationship to comprehensive strategic partnership during the official visit to Malaysia by General Secretary Tô Lâm. He affirmed that the Vietnam-Malaysia relationship is resilient in politics, strong in economy, profound in culture, broad in vision, and united in the same goal of safeguarding independence, sovereignty, and territorial integrity for the happy future of the people. Emphasizing the position, role, and importance of education and training, science and technology, innovation, and digital transformation in the new situation, the Vietnamese leader said it is now the time for educational institutions to take the central role in preparing human resources for the future, not only for one country, but also for the entire region and the world. He affirmed that there is ample room for cooperation between the two countries, suggested that the two sides study the construction of a Malaysian university in Vietnam. He also called for enhancing the effectiveness of educational and training cooperation, especially at the higher education education level, with priority given to strengthening collaboration, enhanced manpower training, promoting scientific research and innovation collaboration, expanding academic exchanges, student connections, and scholarship programs, developing training programs and quality accreditation, and advancing ties in startup innovation initiatives. On May the 20th in Hanoi, the Ministry of National Defense Immolation and Commendation Council held a session to review the conferring and posthumous conferring of the titles of Hero of the People Armed Forces, Hero of Labor, and National Immolator. Senior Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết, Chairman of the General Police Department of the Vietnam People's Army and Chairman of the Immolation and Commendation Council of the Ministry of National Defense, presided over the event. The Council reviewed and gave opinions on dossiers proposing to confer and posthumously confer the title of Hero of the People's Armed Forces during the National Resistance War, the titles of Hero of the People's Armed Forces and Hero of Labor in the renewal period, and the title of National Immolator. The collectives and individuals nominated for these honors all demonstrated exceptional achievements in combat, QUOC training and production with widespread influence. Senior Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết emphasized that the reviewing process must be conducted in a serious, impartial, and accurate manner, aimed to encourage and inspire immolation and dedication spirit across the military. Coming up next, Bắc Ninh maintains good position in attracting FDI. Hoàng Quốc Việt, a revolutionary life for country and people. During the working trip to Russia, National Assembly Vice Chairman Lê Minh Hoan and the Vietnamese National Assembly delegation had talks with First Vice Chairman of the State Duma of Russia, Ivan Menyukov. National Assembly Vice Chairman Lê Minh Hoan reaffirmed that the Vietnamese party, state and people always remember the valuable assistance provided by the former Soviet Union and Russia throughout Vietnam's post-national safeguarding struggle and its national construction. He emphasized that Vietnam always attaches importance to ties with Russia and traditional partners under its consistent foreign policy of independence, self-reliance, and diversification and multilateralization of external relations. The first Vice Chairman of the State Duma of Russia stressed that 2025 marks the 75th anniversary of diplomatic ties, with a series of celebrations planned. Both sides highlighted the important role and contribution of parliamentary cooperation in consolidating and deepening the Vietnam-Russia Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. They concurred to facilitate the exchange of all-level parliamentary delegations, especially those at high level, revive the legal framework, and offer all possible support to investors and businesses from both countries to expand market opportunities. In the first 5 months of 2025, Bắc Ninh has continuously maintained its position as one of the leading localities in the country in attracting foreign direct investment. Capital flows into this locality have been constantly improved in both quantity and quality. Since the beginning of the year, Bắc Ninh has attracted 124 new FDI projects with a total investment capital of nearly $660 million. In addition, the province has also adjusted capital for 79 projects with an increased adjusted capital of $2.08 billion. So far, the province has more than 2,500 valid FDI projects with a total assisted capital of $31.82 billion. In addition, the area outside the industrial park has increasingly affirmed its position, especially through capital contribution and share purchase deals of foreign investors. Such fruitful results are thanks to Bắc Ning's initiative in implementing promotion activities, attracting many large enterprises and corporations to seek investment and business opportunities. The Requien Crossroads Historical Relic Site stands as a powerful testament to the Requien Guerrilla Belt, a unique and innovative combat strategy devised and executed by the armed forces and people of Long An during their direct confrontation with U.S. troops, their allies, and the Saigon Puppet region. Requien Crossroads Historical Relic Site is scheduled to begin construction in August 2025 in celebration of the 80th anniversary of the founding of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. Once completed, the monument will serve as a good venue for educating future generations about the proud legacy of the country's revolutionary tradition. The Regian guerrilla belt comprised 8 communes in Kunduk district and 2 in Kunzuok district, forming a strategic encirclement around the U.S. military base in Regian from late 1966 to 1970, following the arrival of American forces. This belt is regarded as the pinnacle of the People's War against the American imperialists in Long An. The Americans deployed troops to Regian in 1965. At the time, my father was the officer commanding of Company 315. He and his comrades in the troops launched fierce attacks on the American base in Regian. Whenever U.S. troops moved out into the surrounding communities, they were ambushed. My father and his comrades laid mines and traps, forming a defensive ring around the enemy's bases. The Regian Crossroads historical site helps future generations gain insight into the sacrifices made by their forefathers in the struggle for national protection. The resistance against the American imperialists in Long Hoa Commune is vividly depicted through photos and exhibits that recount the heroic resistance of Vietnamese people. Among those, there are relics and artifacts served to preserve these memories across generations. Today, Kunduk has undergone comprehensive development towards an economy with industrial structure, urbanization, trade, and services. Long Hoa Commune is one of the 2 urban centers of Kunduk district, with Regian Township officially recognized as a Class 5 urban area. Amid the region's ongoing growth and transformation, local people have never forgot their historical tradition and always respect revolutionary legacy. To commemorate and promote the patriotic tradition of the armed forces and people in their fight to protect the country, a victory monument at the Regian Crossroads historical site is set to break ground in August 2025. 120 years ago, in the revered land of Kinh Bắc, a cradle of cultural heritage and patriotic tradition, a distinguished son of the Vietnamese nation was born, Hoàng Quốc Việt, whose given name was Hạ Bá Cang. For nearly 70 years of relentless revolutionary service, he endured the toughest challenges from the iron grip of the colonial prisons to the most arduous front lines of the battlefields. In every role entrusted to him, Hoàng Quốc Việt exemplified intellectual rigor, indomitable spirit, steadfast fidelity to the party and the revolution, and above all, an unshakable belief in a unified force of great national solidarity. Amidst the surging tide of preparations for the August Revolution in the whole country, a Tân Trào Congress, together with crucial decisions to seize power, President Ho Chi Minh paid special attention to the consolidation of the national unity, particularly among religious communities, thereby creating the momentum essential for revolutionary victory. Entrusted with this critical mission, Comrade Hoàng Quốc Việt, then a special envoy of the Viet Minh General Command, was urged to quickly move to the south for this important mission. As one of the telegrams reporting the situation sent by Hoàng Quốc Việt to the Central Committee and President Ho Chi Minh stated that 21 provinces I traversed successfully seized the power, so do the entirety of the 6 provinces in the southern region. This was one of the most crucial pieces of information that had a significant impact on the party's decisions during the early days of the August Revolution in 1945. At that time, the revolution had just achieved its initial success. The situation in the South was extremely complex, involving religious tensions, multiple political parties, and immense challenges. Recognizing these difficulties, President Ho Chi Minh placed great trust in Hoàng Quốc Việt, assigning him to the South for the mission in such a short time. With a clear directive from President Ho to prioritize the cause of great national unity, he fulfilled his duties with exceptional success. In a revolutionary career marked by key leadership roles, Comrade Hoàng Quốc Việt was ultimately appointed with the full confidence of the party and President Ho Chi Minh as the first president of the Central Committee of the Vietnam Fatherland Front. Together with his comrades, he helped lay the foundation for the enduring national great unity bloc of the Vietnamese people. His character, marked by sincerity, humility, and a profound connection with the masses, was the essence of the moral authority of a great leader. I can encapsulate his life mission as followed. Wherever the party needed him, he was there. Whenever the party faced difficulty, he stood firm. More than a staunch revolutionary and samurai party member, he was a model of moral integrity in everyday life. His enduring hallmark was a deep-rooted devotion to the people and a sincere concern for their well-being. Today, the name Hoang Quoc Viet stands as a symbol of an entire generation of Vietnamese communists, a generation defined by loyalty, resilience, and lifelong dedication to the country and people. 120 years, a historical process, is a reminder of responsibility in inheriting its legacy as well as promoting the core values Hoang Quoc Viet has left for the cause of building the party as well as the country nowadays. It is the end of the English News Bulletin today. You can watch the news again at QPVN.vn. Goodbye and see you next time.